show up prepared in the way I look.
Yep.
I like to wear suits. I like to dress nice, but it's not about people. It's about me. It makes me feel good when I get dressed and prepared. I show up, some people look at you. Oh, here he coming in. Who he think he is? You know what I mean? But that's his ego. You got to wear a suit. You can't be.
Oh, you talk all proper. You're just trying to be white. Or you are trying to act like you're better than everybody else because you don't go in these groups. You're not hanging out with the different types of social groups.
Yeah. Huh. Yo. We're back. Y'all know what it is. Thaddaeus.
The new
DP.
scene.
Yeah, new scenery. This is beautiful.
Hey, Thaddeus.
Hey, Diana. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Yeah, we're back with the Rise and Stay the Course podcast.
Yes.
How y'all feeling out there? I hope y'all feeling good, doing good. Everybody's
I don't know about you, but I have been listening to these podcasts.
It's been amazing.
It's
so
been
good.
amazing.
So good.
Like, gosh, everything that you said that you want to do, we've been doing
Absolutely.
to help so many people.
Absolutely.
So shall we?
Yeah, let's
start
get
it
into
off?
it. Yeah. God, thank you for this
Yes.
time again. We're here to have some conversation that will feed positivity into the hearts and minds and spirits of all those listening. Give us what to say, how to say. Let someone's life be changed, be touched. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we're talking today. We're going to jump right in, man.
Yes,
talking
jump right
about ego
Mm.
or excellence. Is it ego or is it excellence?
Right. A lot of people don't know the difference because some people view just them talking about themselves
Absolutely.
as being egotistical.
Yes.
Right. Whereas if you're selling a product, you got to talk about
You
that.
gotta
And
talk
if you're
about
the
it.
product,
You better talk.
you got to talk about it. And there's a difference between excellence and there's a difference between ego.
Absolutely.
So you came to me one day.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, D, I want to talk to you about something."
Right.
Tell me what you were thinking.
Yeah. So basically, here's the thing. And I was thinking about myself, right? Because I've always been a driven individual.
Yes.
In a lot of cases, I've been in environments where that has overshadowed people and made people feel less than, or, I've been, if you want to call it, hit with this stigma of I'm arrogant or, I got ego. And, truth be told, I have went through self and personal development and there are things that, I've been wrong in that area. There have been times when ego has kicked in, but for majority of the time, honestly, I'm just a person that approaches things. I'm going to give it my all.
Right.
I'm going to do things in excellence. So what do I value or what would I pinpoint as excellence in my eyes? I think about punctuality, presentation, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Mindset.
Yes.
And a lot of times when you show up that way, if you are a person who is on time, you're early. If you're a person who does the research, you come prepared. A lot of people are just, they're hanging by the seat of their pants. It's
Correct.
even what we talk about in having a daily practice. Most people roll up, get out of bed, grab a cup of coffee on the way out the door and they show up. Versus if we getting ready for a presentation or we got to show up for something and you've taken that time to get up and you're prepared the night before. If you're ready for an event or something, you have done your due diligence. You're coming in excellence. And I have been a person personally who has been on the opposite side of that. So I was just thinking.
Tell me what some of the narratives people would say to you. What would they say?
Okay, if let's say I've been in a setting of a group setting and we're working on a project. If I'm coming and I'm prepared and we show up, I got everything and I'm like, yo, what's going on? What do you have what you need? Well, you think you better than me. You think you better than us. You know what I mean? I show up prepared in the way I look.
Yep.
I like to wear suits. I like to dress nice, but it's not about people. It's about me. It makes me feel good when I get dressed and prepared. I show up, some people look at you. Oh, here he coming in. Who he think he is? You know what I mean? But that's his ego. You got to wear a suit. You can't be and it's nothing against, these individuals or this atmosphere, but it's what I've picked up in the feedback,
And I've had the same. Oh, you talk all proper. You're just trying to be white. Or you are trying to act like you're better than everybody else because you don't go in these groups. You're not hanging out with the different types of social groups.
Yeah.
Or you act like you're better than everybody else because you work out. You act like you're better than everybody else because you're trying to dress better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that, I don't know, Is anyone dealing with this? I want to know because I would love the audience. Again, this is where I would love to. Hey,
Absolutely.
anybody else
Live
dealing
on-
with
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Is this something you're dealing with? Because a couple things come to mind.
Yeah.
When we think about people who are doing that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
there's a lot. They don't definitely have the rise and stay the course mindset.
Not at all.
Right? Because they are utilizing their insecurities
Yeah.
and pushing their fear on you. There's a lack of worth within themselves.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, what better way to make me feel better than to put you down?
Absolutely.
So let's really get
Yeah.
that. And I bet you people in the audience right now are going, yep, she's right.
Absolutely.
Because it's true, right?
Definitely.
Because I think we need to address what's coming out of a person's mouth when
Absolutely.
they say something like that has to be that.
Definitely. And then, so let's really, in our own way, let's break down what ego is.
Yes,
when I think
do it.
of ego, I think of an individual who is really self-absorbed, okay? All into self, always talking about me.
Right.
Putting down, cannot build up. So if we are working in a working environment and you may make a mistake and all I do is put you down and I drive that point home versus build you up, I'm always talking about myself. It's never time and conversation to really be inclusive of others, their feelings, their thoughts. When I think of ego, those are just some of the key points that stick out to me.
It sounds so, what I would say as well, and I'm just going to add a few, is I heard this guy, Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
Wayne Dyer is a philosopher, amazing, loves God, but he also is very inclusive of other religions.
Absolutely.
He used this term one time about ego. He said, ego to me is edging God out. Edging God out. And when I think about that, it's true because when I think of ego, because I was raised in a church and scripture comes to mind, is that pride in the book of Proverbs, pride comes before the fall.
Absolutely.
And so using those two types of narratives and bringing them together, I really believe that there's also people, it's a lack of humility.
Yes.
Right? It's really this, again, if you think about the people who say those things to you,
absolutely.
The opposite, you could also say that those individuals are people who have that ego mentality. They lack a sense of self-worth.
Absolutely.
They lack a sense of identification of someone who is loved. And they really don't have a clear understanding of awareness of themselves. Right. And they almost slightly fall on the narcissistic. I'm not saying they are clinically narcissistic, but most people who are mostly concerned about making certain that they're heard and they're making certain that their name and all these other things are above everyone, everything you said. So that's me in the ego department. I understand that. Absolutely. As a definition.
And let's talk about a couple of things that feed ego, because I believe
let's talk about that.
One point in time or another, whether you are now or you will, we all struggle. We deal with the ego.
Yes, we do.
And you have to keep it at bay because ego at the end of the day is the enemy for us all. You have to be careful when you are feeding that thing, and you can feed it simply by just getting a compliment. You get a promotion on a job. You ace a test. People saying you're doing a great job. Now, in your mind, I killed it. I'm this, I'm that. You're feeding that thing. You're feeding your ego. But
I don't think there's anything wrong with accepting a compliment.
Sure. But
it's where you're.
Yeah, like how it's accepted. And after I accept it, what I use that energy and how I point it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But from your perspective, what are some of the things that you've seen or even personally may have dealt with that feed ego? How do we feed ego?
I think we feed ego by again, I think there's like the undercurrent of it is that when we don't know who we are and we aren't really secure in who we are, we desire, let's just keep this real. There are a lot of people on social media who are okay, let me back this up a little bit because I think we got to go a little deeper.
Yeah, get into it.
Children learn this right when they start to kind of say, mine. Mine.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to just I want to talk about the human condition for a moment because we all want to feel love.
Absolutely.
We all want to feel a sense of that there's something that I have.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think we want to deny the human condition.
No,
we don't
no.
want to deny the fact that thank you for seeing me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for valuing me.
Yeah.
Thank you for seeing my worth.
Yeah.
But when we feed ego is when we are lacking in, there's a hole inside of us.
Absolutely.
And we fill it with, I got to wake up in the morning time. And check yourself, because I know I've been this way, is that, did I get 15 likes? Did I get 20 likes? Am I 100? Right. And the ego, what we're seeking is we're, and there might be the business side of things, which the excellence part,
Sure.
there's excellence
Absolutely.
of, I need to make certain that I'm growing my brand.
Absolutely.
That's the excellent part.
Yeah.
But the ego part, you understand it is when you're constantly seeking
Yes.
affirmation.
Yes.
You got to be seen all the time. You got to be on like 15 boards. You got to make certain that your name is everywhere.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a difference between putting your name everywhere because you want your business to be known.
Of course.
But then if, so those are the kinds of things I really believe that when we're constantly feeding ourselves with, I need this compliment.
Yes.
I need this, this corner office. I need, then you really need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
Real talk,
I love
right?
that. Absolutely. Okay, so now let's switch gears to excellence,
Yes.
because we've identified from our perspective, and again, we're not coming as board certified,
Right.
You know,
Tell it like it is.
research. At the end of the day, this is coming
16
from
research papers.
Yeah, me too, Diana. You
I have a
know, and I
PhD.
can tell you that
Nothing wrong with PhDs.
Yeah, not at all. But at the end of the day, we're just sharing our
Our
perspective,
thoughts. Yeah.
our thoughts, and our truths, and hoping that it
I
hits
love that you
home
said
for
that.
some people. You know, and again, like and share right now. Click that
Right.
like and share button with some people that you feel that this connects with. It
And I
connects
want to
with
hear
you.
what they think about
Exactly.
ego.
We want to know what you think about ego. How do you feel when you think about ego? What feeds your ego? What have you seen feed the ego people around you?
And
let's
have
get
you
this
let
discussion
go
going.
your ego?
Yeah,
Let go
absolutely.
my ego. I don't know if anybody remembers that about waffles. But anyways, go ahead.
So let's get into excellence, because here's the thing that I pride myself on is doing things in excellence and doing my best, right?
Yes.
And at the foundation of excellence for me, it's God, because, you know, I believe that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. We all are created by God in his image and his likeness. And when I put everything I got in that, at the end of the day, I'm boasting, but it's not in me.
Can we just, that is the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We said edging God out.
Absolutely.
But when God is your boss,
Yes.
is who you look up to, when you look in the mirror, you're asking to see him.
Absolutely.
Your ways are trying to be like God.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
You can't go wrong.
and excellence is a natural
Absolutely.
result,
Absolutely.
right? Because you want to do things.
Yes. And when that's at your foundation and that is the light that leads you and that guides you,
Yeah.
I feel like when you show up in these spaces that you have to really be clear and say, I understand who I am. I understand what I'm connected to, where I come from. And this is where that piece of being able to show up when people are staring at you when you walk in a room and now you feel like I got to dumb me down because I'm around all these people who don't think in an excellent type of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They think I feel like I got it going on because I take time, and let's just go down to the basics. There are so many people who won't wash their face. They won't brush their teeth. You know what I mean? They show up. They won't take an iron their clothes because you take time and iron your clothes. You take time and really care about how you look, comb your hair, whether it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's you showing up and feel like, no, you doing things in excellence. You take time and say, hey, I want to be the very best that I can. So I'm going to invest some time or in a coach. So instead of showing up in my job and just feeling like I got to go at it with everybody and go to blows, I'm going to take some time and invest in a coach so I can show up excellent.
Yes.
That's not ego.
No. Yes. Yeah, I just said no. Yes, you can tell I'm from Ohio. But you know, I really feel no. Exactly what you said about excellence, because I really want people to think about when do you know you're showing up with excellence?
Yes.
What do you do and identify for yourself? And for me, I think we can hearken all the way back to, having a self-management and a daily practice.
Daily practice.
For me, it's all about how can I consistently learn? How can I consistently do better?
Yes.
I want to do better because I know I serve a God of excellence.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's coming up. First of all, my body
yes.
is about excellence.
Absolutely.
I treat it with excellence. I try to give it things that are excellent, praiseworthy,
gratitude. That's a big one. I think about just really living in that space of gratitude, no matter what happens, no matter what comes. When I stay in that place of God, I thank you when it's good, when it's bad, when I have money, when I don't, when I'm up, when I'm down.
Right.
Get the contract, don't get the contract. Right. Call me back, don't call me back. I'm thanking you.
Yes.
And that's showing up in excellence because some people may say,
great element
what does that mean? Because a lot of people base excellence off of their degree or how much money you make. That doesn't make you excellent. Mm-hmm. That's not going forth in that. There are some people who are sweeping floors right now and doing it in excellence, and they're showing up and they're giving it all that they have. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're starting off, you want to start a business or you're trying to find your way and you're giving it all that you have, you are grateful, you have humility. You're operating in a spirit of excellence.
And if no matter what you do, if you're sweeping floors, if you're gardening, you do that with excellence. You know exactly what it is that you can do to produce and have the best harvest.
Yes.
We come from, and I'm just going to talk about my ancestry. I come from an excellent ancestry who's all about doing their very best work with just an 8th grade education. My grandmother was excellent in everything that she did.
Absolutely.
In the way that she cooked.
Yes.
And it didn't matter what she was cooking. It was just all about that.
Absolutely.
And so I feel for myself and the shoulders I stand upon and the God that I serve, I'm going to do everything with excellence, whether that's writing a book. Come on now, when we're self-publishing a book, you got to, first of all, get that thing read over and make sure you ain't got no typos.
Absolutely.
Make sure your cover don't look janky.
Ask for help. Come on.
I mean, we say, oh, well, it's self-published. Yeah. No, it's self-published with excellent. And then don't talk about, oh, they're just a volunteer.
Absolutely.
They're not actually being paid for this work. No, when you volunteer with excellence.
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean it's because of who you are.
Absolutely.
You operate, you show up timely. You say, okay, it starts at 7.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't it start at 7?
Yeah.
Why is it starting at 8?
Exactly.
And then we say, oh, well, that's the culture. Well, then say that up front.
Come on.
If this is supposed to start at 7, it starts at 7 and it doesn't start till 8, then say, oh, by the way, in my culture or in what we do, it very well may not start till 8. You just have to think about things and doing things. And I say, do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Well, people say, well, what is the right thing? And again, I always think about this scripture about my thoughts. I do think about things that are praiseworthy, noble, honorable, beautiful,
good things.
All these good, nourishing things.
Absolutely.
And when it's good and nourishing, you want to do that, right? And so, I just believe people really understand at this stage, in any stage of your life, I should say, you should be all about excellence.
Absolutely.
And if there's anyone who is trying to shame you, blame you, or guilt you to do something lower than that, can you just check your surroundings and make certain that you are hanging around the people? Because again, you are a reflection of the top 5 people that you hang around the most.
Come on.
And if because you and I, let's just let the folks know, we like to do events with excellence.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. Please
stop putting on them. We're going to have to do a separate podcast on this, but please stop putting on them nasty events that don't start on time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you got your microphone screeching.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Your videos glitching.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's 2023. That's not an event of excellence.
Not at all.
Either you need to hire someone to help you, touchdown company. You need to hire someone to help you.
Yeah.
Get the right people who are emceeing.
Absolutely.
Right? Don't get these boring people who can't talk.
Definitely.
No offense, but that's not your role, baby.
No.
Get the people who are in the right seats doing the right things.
Absolutely.
It's no different than running an excellent organization with processes,
Correct.
with certain types of mission statement, vision statement, and here's what we are doing. Here's what we are about.
Yeah.
Excellence.
Absolutely. And man, that's so good, DP. Wow.
Yes.
That's so good. And I have a couple things to help, and I want you to speak more on excellence, just a couple takeaways, but I'll talk about a couple ways that you can starve your ego. Starve your ego by, number one, not taking the praise. Whenever it's given, I don't care if you did do all the work. Pass it off to a team member. Highlight somebody else when you are being elevated and being, somebody is pumping you up, because nobody gets there or does it on their own.
Yes.
A lot of times when we are out here in the real world and we're doing something, we are so caught up in what people say. And the thing that you allow to feed you, people's praise, people's, their hand claps, it is the thing that will sustain you. But what happens when that's pulled away? So I will say, number one, pass the praise along. That will starve the ego. Absolutely.
Just say thank you, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think a lot of people,
gratitude.
Right? Because people want, just like people want to receive, people want to give.
Absolutely.
So all I'm saying is to add to that, just say, thank you so very much. I so appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah.
And then you can, because there are a lot of people who like to take credit for other people's work.
Of course, absolutely. And but again, I think that with that, and when you come to know self, we know right from wrong. In your gut, in your heart, when you're taking praise or you're taking something that does not belong to you.
Yes.
But again, when you feed that thing, when I tell myself it's me, I don't take time to build people up.
Yes.
And I think this is why you are such an amazing leader, because I see you in the community. I see you with your friends. You're always building people up. The camaraderie you've built with these young women that you mentor, and even these more seasoned ladies that come to the academy, and you're always about people. Yeah, I don't see you running around. Yeah, I did this, I did that. No, you barely, really speak about a lot of those things. But most people feed that thing, and then we wonder why, we're so self-absorbed.
Absolutely. And I think that you're so spot on about starving ego.
You got to starve it, man.
Serve people.
Serve.
It's all about service.
Serve.
Putting a towel on your arm and then asking, I'm not expecting anything in return.
Absolutely.
So that's a great way to start.
Yeah,
what else do you have? Anything on starving the ego?
I will say also, continue to research. When you do research, and I mean by whatever it is you're doing, whether you're in sports, whether you're an author, whether you're in the music, musician, artist, whatever, research. Look at people who are doing it, who have done things. Because what that causes you to do is say, man, I see them doing this, not for comparison's sake, but it's to say, man, I can put some more work in. I can always be better.
So good, Thaddeus.
Because when I research and I'm doing, and I'm looking at other individuals to say, okay, how can I extract some of those principles to apply here? Because there's always room to grow. When you get to a point to where you figured it all out, you've got it all, you know it all, and you listen to people. I tell myself now, listen more. Whenever I'm having a conversation, sit down, okay, I want to listen more than I talk.
Yes.
I want to have things to take away. Correct. When I'm looking at people who have done things that I want to do or I'm aspiring to do, it keeps my ego unfed. So now I can operate in that place of being grateful, humility, saying thank you. How can I be better?
Man, you done broke it down. That's so good. I got chills. I feel like a lot of everything you're saying, because I think, when I think about like constantly learning, of course, my mind always goes to athletics, but like I think about people like, LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, who are like constantly trying to read. Regardless of people's opinions, because I can instantly hear like, well, did you know that, LeBron James said this? Well, he's constantly trying to learn.
Absolutely.
He's constantly trying to feed his mind.
Absolutely.
Which keeps you in a state of humility, of knowing that you don't have it all figured out.
Absolutely.
Whenever you have it all figured out, then you need to probably just say goodbye because you have it all figured out. But I think we're not denying the fact that You can be an expert in your line of work.
Yes.
But, we're talking about the difference between ego
and excellence. And excellence comes from consistency.
Consistency.
You cannot become excellent if you are not consistent.
Correct.
So if you're on today and then you're off you don't operate in excellence.
Right.
And it's easy for you to fall in the ego. Right. But if you want to operate in excellence, if excellence is something that you're looking to build, or if you say, I do operate in excellence, fact check. You want to also starve that ego? Ask the people around you with the open mind, not, hey, I want to know what you think, but just in case I know I'm
right.
No, hey, Diana, let me ask you. So we've been working together. How do I come across?
Right.
How's my communication?
Right.
In your relationships? Hey, what can I do better? Is there something I can work on? You talk about being an athlete. You see people like LeBron James and Kobe. The reason why they knew, and you see LeBron operating at this high level 38 years in, is because there's a practice.
There's a practice.
Right.
Yes.
I'm there before anybody gets there. I'm the last person to leave.
Yes.
So if that's you listening, you're the first person there. You're the last person to leave. You're always giving. You're excellent. You're operating in excellence.
Yeah. What we've defined in the first 2 podcasts with Rise and Stay the Course, are you all hearing? And if you haven't listened to those 2 podcasts, go back and listen. Because when you go back and listen, you'll understand there is a root that we are talking about that has, when you have that at the foundation, then excellence is a natural result.
Absolutely.
And I feel like there's a few things, we've got some homework. Like, people need to really look around. And number one, I'm going to ask you, write down all the notes that you just talked about those 3 things that can starve ego. But what's your excellence plan?
Yes.
What's your plan for excellence? What will you be doing on a daily basis that will show you I've operated in godlike excellence today?
Absolutely.
Right? Not and I just really think that there might be something you need to learn. What is it that you need to learn?
Yes.
Do you need to get a coach? Do you need a therapist?
Absolutely.
Do you need extra help? Asking for help is a great way to starve ego. Asking for help. Because when you can't ask for help, or you say, I've got to get it all figured out myself. These people don't know what they're doing. I do it the best. Wow. That is ego.
Yeah.
Right? Or you just don't know how to trust other people.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know how to trust yourself.
Absolutely.
And so I really feel that everyone needs to write out their plan of excellence. What does that look like?
Yes.
Right? And then try it out. And then make certain that you stay consistent with it.
Put it to the test.
Make certain that you are doing things that are going to show that you're not just doing it for show.
Correct.
But that you're doing it because you really want to be better.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah,
man, that's so good. Oh, man. I love it.
Good.
I love it.
So I hope y'all have enjoyed this conversation, ego or excellence.
Yes.
And remember, again, starve that ego, ask for help, really do your research, always look to get better. Look for opportunities to get better. Always.
And be excellent. Don't just talk about what you want to do.
No,
don't be mad at other people about what they doing. This is a Beyonce quote. Go about it. Be about that excellence. Do that.
Telling you, and be on time.
Could y'all be on?
Be on time. Be on time. That's a big thing. You want to start with something small, something tangible that you can say.
That's a good one.
I can be on time.
Be responsive.
Somebody reach out to you, and I get it. So many people, and I don't care. I've really connected with some really high profile people that respond.
Michelle Obama responded to me.
Come on, that shows
Michelle, and she wants to respond again.
Come on,
if Michelle wants to respond again, Michelle, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
real talk, and you manifesting that. But again, you get that because why? You sow that.
Yes.
You know how many people reach out to you? You respond to them.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, let's be clear. No matter if you see yourself at the bottom or you're at the top as a CEO, we all have people looking to us.
Yes.
So you have to realize what you put out is coming back.
It's coming back.
So you got to be careful how you treat people on your way up or treat people when you are, if you call it at the bottom.
Right.
because that comes back. So if you are a person that responds to people, if you are a person, when you see people, you shake their hands, you give them eye contact, you say hello to people, you're going to get that back when you're trying to get that job, when you're trying to make that connection.
And you start singing that song. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team's. We're not going to say that part. Hey, this has been real.
This has been real.
I love it.
I love it, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Continue to rise and set, of course, like, subscribe, share with your family and friends. We want to hear from y'all. Comment. Let us know what you guys are thinking, how this is touching you. We love y'all. Until next time.
Love y'all. Peace.